Let's learn about the hydraulic principle by solving an exercise step by step. In particular, we're going to derive a formula to compute the leverage you can achieve by using a hydraulic press, which is used for instance in car brakes. The setup is the following. We have two containers that are linked with each other and thus share the same liquid. On both sides we have a circular opening with on them perfectly fitting plates that can move up and down. One small opening has a diameter of 20 centimeters and the large one measures 2 meters across. You position yourself at the small opening and push down the plate with force. Since both containers are linked and share the same fluid, you pushing down on this side will push up the plate on the other larger side. Given that you push down with an equivalent mass of 45 kilograms, how many kilograms can you lift on the other side? And what is the leverage that you have? Now, to solve this problem, we need only 3 formulas and one key principle of hydrostatics. The central formula for any problem involving fluids is the definition of pressure. P, the pressure, is a force F divided by an area A. Let's keep this formula close by and use it to compute the pressure in the fluid that results from us pushing down the small plate. So that would be P1 is equal to F1, the force with which we push down, divided by A1. The force we exert is equivalent to putting a 45 kilogram weight on top of the plate, with gravity pulling it towards the Earth. Thus, this is simply the gravitational force, the mass m, multiplied by the gravitational constant g. The area on which we exert this force is the surface of the smaller circular plate. Thus, A1 becomes the formula for the area of a disk, pi times d over 2 squared, with d being the diameter. Filling in the numbers with 9.81 meters per second square for the gravitational constant and 0.2 meters for the diameter, which is 20 centimeters, we get a pressure inside the fluid right below the plate of 14,051 newtons per square meters. And we will leave these units as B because we will just convert them later on. Now, to answer the question that we were asked, we need to find the corresponding upward force on the large plate, lifting the weight of unknown mass. To do this, we again start from our central formula for pressure. P2 is F2 over A2. What we need from this formula is F2, and thus we can rewrite the formula. Now we use the one principle that will pop up in such exercises time and time again, namely that the pressure inside the fluid, at equal depths, is equal. This means that the pressure right beneath the small plate will be equal to the pressure right below the large plate. Therefore, we can replace P2 by P1, for which we already have found a number and which we can substitute in this formula. We know the diameter of the large circular plate, which is 2 meters, which we need to compute the area of the plate. Plugging in the numbers, we get a force F2 of the fluid on the plate of 44,142 newtons. Now, of course, the final step is to translate this force into a mass. Now, we know that this force of the liquid pushing against the plate is preventing it from dropping down, and therefore it must be equal to the force of gravity pulling down this weight. Thus, F2 can be written as the mass of the weight, m2, multiplied by g. Isolating m2 in this formula and filling in the numbers for F2, which we computed, and g, which we know by heart, we end up with a weight of mass 4,500 kilograms. And thus we have calculated that by pushing down really hard, we can lift a weight of 4,500 kilograms, which incidentally is exactly 100 times as large as the equivalent mass with which we were pushing down. Coincidence? Well, not quite. This is in fact a general rule of thumb for the hydraulic principle. We know that the pressure below each plate has to be equal to each other, so P1 is equal to P2. If we use our central formula for pressure again, we find the following equality. Rewriting this by isolating F2, we find that the resulting upward force of the liquid onto the plate is the force pushing down multiplied by the ratio of the areas of the plates. Thus, we see that if A2 is 100 times as large as A1, which for circular areas means a diameter that is 10 times as large, then the force will also be 100 times as large. And this principle will always hold, irregardless of the specific fluid you are dealing with. And with that, we've solved an exercise and learned a general rule of thumb. For those that stuck to the end, well done. If you made it this far and you want to support me, you can always just give this video a thumbs up, which helps me out tremendously. And with that, I thank you for watching.